70% water. The earth is 70% water. So if you're not 70% holy water, juiced up, you're a dry place. You're in the boneyard of Ezekiel. We'll water the bones. We'll water your flesh. We'll give you the living word that makes you come alive. On your temple walls with the living flow of his river. And the only way to obtain that is to continually refresh yourself every single day. It's not about working, it's not about striving. We demonstrate this for your sake, but it's truly just being at rest and just letting him flow through you. source. That's why when you rub your socks on the floor too much, you let static electricity out. Because you are a superconductor. You are built in the image of your Heavenly Father. So you should be conducting life. How do you conduct life? How do you conduct electricity? Rub your foot on the floor a lot while wearing socks. And touching the lives of others. You have to touch something else. Let your love flow into them. Let the love of Christ flowing through you flow into them. Envision it. You manifest it from a flow, from a beautiful place of no striving, no works. Just let it corporately come out like bubbling water, like a freshly uncorked champagne bottle. Pop. And it just flows out of you, springing up. Oh well. So what if it makes a little bit of a mess? That's what love does. It's pretty messy. Every single love work that Jesus did from the Spirit of the Father created a mess in Israel. It's true. You know, caused crowds and riots, caused people to flip out, caused religious leaders to lose their minds. The spirit of Satan to go absolutely bonkers. Why? Because true love is messy. And it's going to overflow and not be contained. That's the point.
Feel the spirit of the warriors of God. Shukutuku.
If there isn't some religious leader getting upset at the works you're doing, you're probably not in the messy love of God. You're in the outer works. That's just sorcery. But if you're getting people talking behind your back, wondering what you're up to, because you're following the Spirit of the living God, then you know you've entered the works of Christ. When you've got people running to warn the town because they're that afraid of your power. You've just cast out 4,000 demons and killed all their pigs. They're afraid they're next. And they should be afraid, because they're the pigs themselves.
There's a river flowing out of me, destroying the power of the enemy. Yes, there's a river flowing out of me. There's a river flowing out of me. There's a river flowing out of me, destroying the power of the enemy. There's a river flowing out of me. There's a river flowing out of me. There's a river flowing out of me. Destroy
the maximum disruption to Satan and his angels in the celestial realm, which has already been like completely dealt with. Disrupt all of his camps, and now kicking him out of every mind on earth. So he has no place left to live. No trespassing. No quartering of enemy soldiers. Not gonna happen. Free men you are, and free men you shall be. I see those of you, I just saw in the spirit, that's so beautiful. I saw the pearl of great price, treasured, holding it in your spirits. It's very important. The pearl of great price will pull you through everything in life. Everything. When you have that pearl, nothing will separate you from it. You'll die for it, you'll live for it, and nothing can take it from you. It may try.
And your name is great. You are lovely.
Yeah, I feel like I just saw a bunch of strawberries like pop up around the world as like buildings and stuff. But I felt like the Lord was saying that you're gonna start partaking of me in every building you walk into, and like eating the strawberries in every building He's gonna talk to you. His voice will like echo off the walls in every building, everywhere you go. And I saw that the sun being an orange, and, like eating the sun, and everything in life will be a message from Jesus.
Bam.
Hella does that for me.
That's so good.
That's why I go out so much. He talks to me about everything.
Partner with your fruit angels. Eat the strawberries of the land. It's so good. Whoa. Whoa. Wow, I can just taste the strawberries. It's really powerful.
Yeah, I was doing that the other day, like looking at the clouds, just like staring at them, and everyone around me looked at the clouds because I was like zoned out at the clouds. And he was like, see, when you behold something, other people can't help but look at it too. He's like the same thing with me. When you behold me, and everybody has to look at me. And that's like you tasting the fruit, and everywhere you go, people are gonna can't help it but taste what you're tasting. And it's so light and weightless. You just like look at it. No work.
The way I see it in a vision right now is like literally as you're going place to place, and it's just like you can do it consciously or subconsciously, but you're about to walk into a place. We know it says, "Speak when you enter a house, speak peace upon the house, and if it returns to you, remain in the house." But it's like even before entering, working with the angel. Whoa, and letting them pick the fruit of that house and deliver it to you and feed it to you. Feed you the strawberry. Strawberry fields forever. What are you doing though when you do? What's the importance of that? Taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste the goodness of God in the household or in the business. How fruitful is it? Or maybe it's stale. Maybe you need to water it and command blessing. So then you can speak back to the angel the work that needs to be done, and then it's completely effortless. It's corporate body work, gardening. Perfect. It's reigning by feasting. That's all you need to do. That's like the most beautiful blueprint ever. Reign by feasting. Who would have known Jesus gave us such a simple blueprint? It's true. Whoa. It's about letting the Word become flesh. John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through Him all things were made, and without Him nothing was made that has been made. In Him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness shall not overcome it. What is the Word? Language. The Rhema. The Word of God spoken in the Spirit that creates all things. God spoke and said, "Let there be light," and it was so. Jesus said, "Be healed," and it was so. Jesus said, "Speak to the mountain, be rooted up and cast in the sea, and it will obey you." Speaking the Word. What word? What word do you have to speak? Whatever living word is required in that moment to birth it. It's all birthing words, life-giving words. We overcomplicate things sometimes. All God spoke was, "Let there be light," and there was light. All Jesus said was, "Be healed," or "Stretch out your arm," or "Pick up your mat and walk." Very simple phrases, and the fullness of the manifest flesh was in those words. The creative power. Verse 14. The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. We have seen His glory and the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. The Word became flesh. God created all things. He created every being with the Word. Language was the basis of all creation. What language? What language would have created such things so quickly? Language at the speed of light. Because light creates the construct. We've been speaking moon languages, shadow languages. We're entering into the light language, the sun language. How do we know? Because things manifest at the speed of light rather than the speed of sound, which is significantly slower. That's human efforts. You say, how do we do that? Just watch. It's already underway. It's already in the acceleration and bursting its own thing. And you're sitting there like, oh, well, I want natural things to appear right this instant. They already are. You just haven't seen it yet. Can you imagine that? It already is there. You just haven't seen it yet. Truly. Habakkuk 2:14. The knowledge of the glory of the Lord covers the earth as the water covers the sea. That means the glory already covers the earth as the water covers the sea. You just don't have knowledge of it. It's the becoming and the awareness of the knowledge at a faster pace. And it's coming. When did the Word become flesh? Oh, when Jesus was born. No, the Word became flesh and made His dwelling amongst us. When did the Word become flesh? In the beginning. Verse 1. In the beginning was the Word. The Word became flesh in the beginning. And His dwelling was amongst men. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So it's the knowledge of the Word being made flesh in all things. He was there in the beginning. We were already authored into Christ in our flesh in the beginning. If it was there in the beginning, it's certainly there now. It's changing your perspective and understanding. And when you have understanding of the Word, the Rhema word, why is it the Rhema word that's important? Because it all works by faith, which we know is the spoken thing. When we hear something, faith comes by hearing, hearing the good news. When we hear something in the spirit realm, we receive it by faith. What are we hearing? The living word. The living and active, sharp word that cuts through all joints and marrows, sharper than any two-edged sword. So it's a piercing word. It will produce much goodness. And hearing that word, delivering that word, manifesting that word has tremendous authority. How do you best manifest it? First is hearing it. How do you hear it? How does some people hear anything? They hear it, they see it. Letting it be in your physical senses in the spirit realm. And then activating it. So the Father wants us to build all of this. But we can make it so much easier than we have been. If God spoke, let there be light, and there was light. It's literally that simple. It should be that simple for us. If we said we heal cancer, cancer should be healed. But why aren't we there yet? What's limiting us from seeing that manifestation? Time. Because we're still thinking in the context of linear time, and we're thinking of the realm of impossibilities rather than serving the impossible God. So time keeps us bound, which also is what death is. Death is time and recording of time. And so we live in that construct, bound by its constrictions, when instead we should be living out of those constructs. Our language, our word, what is our word? In the beginning was the Word. So our word should be in the beginning, our word should be in the now, and our word should be in the future. And it should move at the speed of light. What moves at the speed of the light? Vision. Vision has to do with light. So developing our spiritual vision and coming into agreement and unity and birthing things in the light realm at the speed of light by the word that we construct. So you're hearing us right now. We've been delivering messages at the speed of sound and the speed of light because we are also ministering visually. But primarily it's been in that realm of sound. And we're transitioning out of human. You've all heard the stories, okay? People they have heavenly encounters, this or that. What do they say? Oh, everyone in heaven communicates telepathically. How do you communicate telepathically? Vision. Light. There is no audible. The audible comes through the light. So that's what the kingdom does, and that's what we need to be doing. And as I read the word, I look at things and I say, whoa, I see telepathically what the Spirit was doing. I see how God the Father was speaking telepathically to Jesus, and Jesus spoke telepathically to the spirits. He didn't speak to the flesh, he spoke to the spirits, and that manifested it in the flesh. So it was without resistance. Because the flesh will immediately try to resist it. In fact, it wants to and already is resisting it. So we're not going to operate on the battleground of the flesh. We're going to operate in the battleground of the Spirit and manifest that power. And with time, because we all want that instant result, we have to overcome time. We have to shorten the gap. How do we do that? Being and reigning, past, present, and future, the Alpha, the Omega, the one who was and is to come, made flesh. In you, the Word became flesh, dwelling amongst men. So we're headed that direction. It's only a matter of time. Unlocking a language that helps us establish the Rhema word in such a way that our souls are edified out of the curse, out of the construct, and seated in the heavenly things. It's already being worked on. It's already being crafted for your sake. There's a drawing into that. But there's another realm that we have access to a lot of this work as well, which is the dream realm. Dreams are super important in this work. Because to enter this type of place, we have to think of the kingdom. I would say that the kingdom and heaven is closer to dreams than to our natural life, at least presently that we're aware of. But that is shifting. They're becoming one and the same. Daniel interpreted dreams of the king, and those dreams manifested and came to pass. Joseph had a dream that challenged all of his brothers, and that dream came to pass. So dreams are very important to help us manifest the reality. That's where this is going. That's the ride that the Spirit is taking us on. How do you define dream language? In some ways it's really simple to, but in other ways it's actually sometimes beyond words. It's more of an experience. We have to develop a way to bring people into those experiences. Sometimes that means drawing it out. Why? Because the drawing makes it visual, which makes it communicate in the light realm. That's just a starting point.
We need you so much. Jesus.
Some of you type it out and share your dreams in text. That also brings it alive. You're manifesting your dreams by sharing it amongst people.
Just love on God tonight. Just love on
And then it can start doing the work that it was intended for.
to Him as you pour out your heart to Him.
Maybe we could make our dreams into songs,
He reaches out to the deepest
into movies,
something happens. Just let Him know.
or
Let Him
perhaps
know
even act them out.
battles, the struggles, even though He knows that He knows all things, but He wants you to
There's
experience
power in displaying those kingdom realities
love, your
in the light realm.
heart. Just express yourself to Him. Tell
Very
Him
important.
How special He is. Tell Him how worthy He is. Tell
We'll
Him
get there.
How holy He is. Tell Him how
There'll be a process, there'll be a transition,
wonderful He is. Tell Him how lovely
but defining that, unraveling that mystery, and not putting it in a box.
express your heart.
I don't mind dream dictionaries and things like that,
His fragrance.
but every dream tells a different story. And just like we say the written word can have 7 different interpretations,
Oh God.
7 different revelations
Jesus.
per scripture. The same thing with a dream. So you can't say, oh, well, I had this dream, and because I had a dream of a spider, it automatically means this. No, and now, maybe in 90% of the cases that's true, but I think that there is distinct times where it means something different. I look at David. David was protected by a spider who made a web and helped cover him from being discovered. So we can't automatically think that spiders are always meaning danger, when clearly in one case it was protection. But that's what happens when we start going off of these dictionaries and prophetic, old manna. No, we have to get the living manna for the hour. What is the message being spoken in the hour? It's very important. And that's what we're working on. That's what we're doing as a community, more than we even realize. That's what we're doing in our spiritual visions as we're growing, experiencing things together. Our language, the language of our spirits, are communicating heart to heart. We're saying this is what's going on with one another. We know things before we even talk person to person. And that is going to grow and continue in the days to come.
We magnify you. We glorify
It's going to be exponentially stronger, where we're drawn into the experiences of one another. Why? Because it's first fruit harvest, and it's opening our hearts and our minds to begin experiencing the entire body, because that's where we're going. God dwells amongst men. He became flesh. We too are inheriting that with Him. We're becoming one. We're becoming unified. It's going to take 1,000 years to do it. But that's okay. It won't feel like 1,000 years because we're stepped outside of time. It'll just be the funnest times of our lives. Amazing. Wow.
at your feet and to drink in your presence. Just to sit at your feet and to minister to you. Oh Lord, what a wonderful place to be. The very feet of the living God. How precious is your name.
When God spoke to Abraham the promise,
Is your name.
it was a Rhema word. A promise spoken directly to Abraham.
Is your name.
Do you see all these stars? Do you see all these sands? So shall your descendants be. He could not fathom such a thing. But yet it was the reality. How was God able to speak something, and why did he have to speak something like this to Abraham? Couldn't it have just come about without speaking it? What was the importance of saying it and it becoming so? And if God was dwelling within Abraham, where was he speaking it from? That word was creative power. I look back and I'm looking at all my dreams in life and prophetic words and etc., etc. Some are still in the works, but most of my dreams, I mean in the last 9 months, every dream I've had in my whole life is birthed and come to pass, and I'm like, what do I do now? It's an unusual place to be because of having 30 some years of dreams and now you have none. And then it's like, what do you set your sights on? What becomes the next dream? Or maybe we're completely transitioning to living out of that dream realm. And that is the dream. That is the completion of the work. Just like Joseph. The dreams were carried for a point. They did their work. Father, I just declare activation of dreams and languages. Languages at the speed of light over our tribe, over our people. That they see a thing and it is so. They speak a thing and it is so.
Throwing a party. My father is 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 throwing a party. He's killed the fatted calf. And he's put a robe on my back. He killed the fatted calf. And he put a robe on my back. He son is mad because I'm so happy. The older son's upset because I'm just so filled. But I'm just gonna sing and praise God anyway, because the Father's working on him, amen. Oh yeah, my Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party, and I'm jumping in. Oh yeah. My Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party, and I'm jumping in. Oh yeah. My Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party. My Father is throwing a party, and I'm jumping in. Oh yeah. Well, the religious, they don't want to come to that celebration, because when they get there, our joy produces much frustration. But it doesn't really matter to me anymore. I'd sooner lay down drunk on the floor and worship the Lord in the Holy Ghost, amen.
Whoa.
Yes, my Father is throwing a party.
The anointing's so strong, guys. Look at this. My shirt. I'm sweating.
I feel like I just did cocaine. Like my stomach hurts. Like, oh man.
I'm just sitting here. This shirt was clean, fresh. I changed it right before the broadcast. Literally just sitting in the anointing. So I had to move around. I was like, what is going on? Whoa. We got the window open. There's like a nice cool breeze coming in here, but I'm like, whew. My face doesn't, no heat. My body is like,
My face is hot now, my body.
I must be the body or the head of this. Back to Abraham really quick too. Why would the Spirit of the Lord from the future speak into Abraham in his past? And how far in the future was the Spirit speaking from? And if he did it for Abraham, how often is he doing it for us if we're just not paying attention? Whoa.
Open up your heart to God. 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 He's waiting. Open up your heart to God. 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 He's waiting. Open up your heart to God. Open up your heart to God.
Wow.
Open up your heart to God. Open up your heart to God. He's waiting with you.
Oh man. It's swirly in here. Oh. I don't even know what all this is. Let's just close out with a little Bob Jones, Get Caught Up Outside of Time. I think that'd be good. healthy and proper.
Yeah, I was looking at scripture, I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead when you get it.
I think it's time that all of you go give your daddy a visit and your brother.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to tell you how to do it. I've laid the scripture. I've told you what's... And he wants you to come there where the winds, the angels are assigned to you there. He wants you to come into that glory where you shine. Those that's been in the presence of God, they shine. They have an inner shining, an outer glow, as he did in Hebrews 1:3.
The Spirit just said this teaching from
He
Bob was
wants
a
you to have
future
an outer glow,
teaching.
and when you come into darkness,
See what shining I'm talking about? I looked at
that
scriptures
darkness will
online.
flee from light. It's time that the light in you makes darkness hide.
He was speaking from the future.
So, this is how I encourage you to do it. That you don't pray, don't use your mind, that you put your hands up, close your eyes, and take deep breaths, and just simply beam up. It's that easy. I mean, it is really easy. So you that want to go up, why don't you close your eyes, put your hands up, take deep breaths, empty that mind, and just go up. Come, Holy Spirit. Take them up. Good. Good. Get that plug out. Yeah. Let that kingdom within come. Good. Good.
Freaky. Oh my
Good.
God.
That's it. Keep that breath. Don't think. Good. Hallelujah. Good. Good. Now feel the wind on your face. Now when you come up there, all 5 of your senses become golden. Some of you will be seeing light. Some of you may hear a word. You may be seeing visions. Others may be smelling flowers and things like this. Others may taste something. Will taste the Lord and see that He's good. But the greatest of all is feelings. And I think this is what He's really doing here. I want you to feel the love. Feel that He loves you. That's it. See your feelings. And that feeling of love and well-being is the greatest. It's got the peace and the joy. But you can see with all 5 senses. For see, there they become golden instead of carnal. Good. Good. The wind is really whipping on some of you. And that feeling, see, the wind blows away the fog and blows away the darkness so that light can enlighten you. Now each and every one of you ought to do this often. Empty the mind totally. And especially if you are restless and have lost your peace, this is how you get it back. This is your victory. It overcomes the world. You're not in the world, you see, when you do this. You're in the heavens. You're touching the heavens. Yeah. Just keep going. Now you can do this anytime you choose. For you see your daddy's doors open to you day and night. Soak it in His presence in the heavenlies. All 5 of your senses go sanctified in His presence. Now, when you come back down, you're going to bring the Peru sauce with you. It's the presence. So you see, in Peter the Chain is called the coming of the Lord, but it really means the presence. And it's the presence of Jesus in each and every one of you when you come back down. So bring His presence with you, so that those who dwell in darkness down here have no hope, can find light, hope, and life forever. You can spend as long as you want to here, but I encourage you to do this often.
By George Soros. Maybe it's liberty that helped Lincoln free the slaves. And you're partnering with the Spirit of the Lord in that time. There's wisdom there. Or maybe it's something in the far off future that you have yet to grab a hold of and help birth, but you're about to. So let's discern that way. Discern mighty and great things from His kingdom. Amen. Do you find that verse you wanted to share?
Yeah, I guess. I got wasted on a different one. There was two I saw. Okay, the number is 625. The Lord makes His face shine on you and be gracious to you. And then I was reading them in Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is like the wise man and who knows the interpretation of a matter? A man's wisdom illumines him and causes his stern face to beam. Think about the wisdom of God changing your whole composure. In another version it says, there's nothing better than being wise, knowing how to interpret the meaning of life. Wisdom puts light in the eyes and gives gentleness to words and manners. So beautiful.
Wow. Anyway, wow. Let that shine bright within you and burn everything up. Amen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We love you.